Welcome back to our brewery farm life. So before I carry on with this week's episode, I do just want to kind of give a shout out to our friends in the States. There's a lot of stuff going on there right now. There's a lot of stuff going on here too. Ontario's in lockdown. COVID cases are through the roof. Apparently not as bad as they're going to get, but in the States there's that, plus a lot of other things. So stay strong, guys. I know it's been a tough start to 2021, but you can get through this. I know you can, and it's all uphill from here. This week has been pretty quiet, actually. David's been busy working on a few things in the shop. When he has downtime, he doesn't really take downtime. He is very creative, and he is very engineer-minded, I guess is a good way of describing it. So he doesn't stop. His brain just keeps going, and when he doesn't have a project, he finds a project. So he has been working on a few things in the shop. So I guess we'll let him figure that out. I'm getting out of here. I have been just finishing up a few little projects in the barn and working with David to get a few things done. Taking a little bit of time for myself, doing some online courses for sheep and for editing, and helping the kids with school. Now that has been the bane of my existence lately. Michaela is doing really, really well in school, but you can kind of see it. Like, it's definitely not her favorite thing to do. It's discouraging for her. She's a social butterfly, and not having that is very draining for her. So just kind of helping them through that, making sure that they're up in the morning and online on time has been the toughest part for me. But we'll get through this. Same as we have before. It'll be fine. So we came out at night to do our barn chores. This is probably my fault. What are you doing, Rusty? It's like, why would I wait? I'll just help myself. So tomorrow's goal is to build a bigger door. Oh, just gonna be fight. Winston, back away. David, what happened?
What happened where? I think I found the screw that Jack dropped.
Don't blame it on Jack. So we're midway through the week, and I've been working on a bunch of paperwork for the brewery, between my office and the brewery and at home, because the kids are learning from home right now. So I'm kind of doing mom duty, teacher duty, and working in the brewery. But while I was doing all that, Jack and David are in the barn building something. And they told me that they needed me to come and supervise for a second. So God only knows what they are up to, but I'm about to go find out.
All right, so what do we decide?
They can go top and bottom,
Yeah,
and then we can screw it to that wall.
and actually, that if you did that, yeah, and then we just leave the plywood out there, that'd be like a little front entrance.
Oh, right, do it all the way around.
Yeah,
Up here at the porch,
Yeah.
too.
Because the bunnies need a porch.
What bunny doesn't need a
oh,
porch?
we have a
Uh-oh.
defective wedge.
Just turn it around, Jack.
Which way do you go? Do they need a tall, narrow opening or a little wide opening?
Got that slope for the rain. Okay, so yes.
It depends which side of the building you're working on. That's either the ceiling or the roof you've got in your hand.
So now we're gonna put this.
Yeah, we'll put him back on.
We never get those nailed.
No.
Somebody told us to get nailed.
Somebody told us a lot, but
Pile all this stuff in the way.
okay.
Say it, Jack.
Yes. All right, so what's wrong?
Nothing. This guy with the funky tongue can be the center. Have we decided on
How we're gonna
low
fasten
and
it?
wide or tall and?
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure they're the same, whatever we are. All right, so we can screw
Yeah,
that one in
and then
there.
these at the end.
Yeah.
The top. And Bob's your uncle.
All right, so if you want to put it, oh, yeah, we didn't mark it.
We never measured or marked. We should do that at least find the center. Oh, we had a line on the other side.
That was the center.
I don't know, is it? It sure looks close to me.
Was it close?
You've got the.
You watch, because those bunnies will measure it if
Take
it's
what
not
measures.
accurate.
No, it's not. Oh, that's the far side of that wall.
Yeah, it's not center.
But that's the far side of the wall. Let's see. There. Now the wall's
That'll
centered.
work. That'll work. Okay. All right. So we're going the high side. All right.
I guess so.
So we just put a little tack in there on both these sides, each way, and then we can just do that all the way along and then stand up on the side roof and go from the bottom, right?
What you said.
Yeah.
Jack, are you not frozen?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not bad.
And now that my supervising job is done, I had to go back to the house, make sure school's going okay, get the rest of my office work done, doing a little bit of editing, and hopefully I can call it a quits at 5 o'clock today. We'll see. Probably not. And then back out to the barn to do some barn chores. So I don't know if you noticed what we were building, but it's a rabbit hutch. The two rabbits were in two dog crates that were put together with another cage. And we knew that wasn't big enough, but it was purposeful and it was fine for two rabbits. But then when we found out that we had a boy and a girl and we had babies, we realized we needed more space. However, we wanted to keep them in the heated room to make sure that they stayed warm. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of space in there. So we had to put a smaller cage in there and kind of cram them all in just to make sure that everyone stayed warm and alive. Alive is important. But now that the bunnies have fur, all of the babies have fur, they're all pretty big and they're definitely fat and healthy. It's time to get them into the rest of the barn. So we're going to slowly turn off the heat for them and introduce them to a heated lamp. And hopefully with this new rabbit cage, they'll have lots of room to run around and play. So it's Tuesday morning and we're on our way out to the barn to do chores. And it's slippery. It's so slippery. Maybe we should have wore skates.
Winnie, come here! Don't knock me over.
Freezing rain and they don't care. Happy as can be. Hey guys. Just having a little nappy nap. I should point out they have multiple areas where they can get out of the rain if they want to. The shelter, the cedars over there are all dry underneath. But they don't care. They're just gonna hang out here. Something we don't do enough of, and we really should, is spend time focusing on ourselves. And all of us can admit that that's something that none of us really, we do enough of. One of the things that I really enjoy is going for hikes. We own about 120 acres of property, and a lot of that is natural forest. And we have spent a long time over the years grooming and maintaining our forest or bush, whatever you want to call it. The trails are absolutely beautiful, and they overlook this beautiful ravine. It's just, it's picturesque. It is beautiful, and I definitely don't spend enough time doing it anymore. Now that things are kind of a little bit quieter, it's so important to spend a little bit of time on yourself. And I'm definitely going to try and appreciate our trails a little bit more. So let's go for a little walk, a little hike through the bush. These trails are packed full of wildlife. Constantly we see all sorts of different tracks. So bunnies, raccoons, squirrels, skunks, coyote, fox, deer, all the typical stuff you would see. We do have a bald eagle that lives around here, and I'm not 100% sure where the nest is. And every time I go for a walk, I look for it. I've never found it. But one day, and when I do, I will show you. They are massive. I don't know if anybody's ever seen a bald eagle's nest in person, but they are huge. So hopefully one day we can find it. However, there's tons and tons of birds and owls. It's just really neat to kind of take your time and look around at all the different tracks when you're on the trails. I enjoy it. Nature is something that kind of sets my mind at ease. I'm sure it does for tons and tons of people. So, and in today's world that we're living in, sometimes a little of that is necessary.
There couldn't be a better time. All that I can see is sunshine. Lazy hours come and go. Watch them as they're passing so slow. Nothing left I need to know. Just standing here to feel the wind blow.
And this is where the magic is. The view, it's amazing. Every time I come out here, I'm in awe.
Emotion, hope that you can feel it too.
Another thing that happens around here, David is on the fire department. He's on the volunteer fire department, and they have to practice how to extricate somebody from a vehicle that's been in an accident. It's something that needs to be focused on because I don't know enough about it. I'm not a fireman. I don't pretend I know anything about it. My dad was a volunteer fireman. My husband's a volunteer fireman. I grew up kind of in that family, so I'm very used to it. However, before now, they would practice their extrication. I think, I'm not really sure where they did it, but now they come out here and they practice auto extrication. So what happens is of course, they usually put a dummy in a vehicle, and they have to practice how to get that out in a safe and quick way. It's really, really cool to watch, and I mean, it's cool to watch when it's practice. I would never want to be at the scene of an accident. Kudos to them. Any volunteer firemen, I'm going to say this right now, any volunteer firemen out there, you guys, firemen, volunteer firemen, police, ambulance, all of you, You guys all deserve medals. Like, I've seen some of the aftermath of the effects that any sort of fire accident scene can have on these people, and I couldn't do it. You have to be a special someone to be able to do that, and these people are amazing. Anyway, so the point of my story is, every time I walk past this, I'm like, ooh, it looks so gross, but it has a purpose, and we kind of have the aftermath. We haven't put it back. We haven't put it into the scrap bin yet, but I wanted to show you guys kind of what it looks like, and it's pretty crazy. So this is kind of the aftermath of practice. It looks weird and kind of scary, but for good reason. These guys put all the effort and thought and patience and hard work into making sure that what they practice will make sense when it comes time to needing it. If anyone's ever been in the situation, or known someone that's been in a situation where they were trapped in their vehicle, or in an accident, or in a fire, your heart must skip a beat as soon as you hear those sirens. So kudos to you, firemen, policemen, ambulance drivers, all the first responders. You guys are amazing. So I hope everyone's had a great week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like what you saw, make sure that you hit the like button, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy it. Enjoy your time, guys. We'll talk to you soon.